So I see my boy right here, our special guest, Eddie from 420 Chicago Presents. He's right here sparking. What you sparking on today, my guy?
Today it was the zebra. It was some zebra stuff that I got from the homie, the plug.
Gotcha. So how is that zebra going for you right now, you know?
It looks good, man. It's hitting right. Here, let me show you, see how much of this camera. It has a nice smell to it.
We're now I'm dabbing on some live resin, actually. Oh, okay. See a little blur though, but I see it. I see it. It got a little color. Got a little color to it.
Yeah,
I see it.
yeah, no, it's nice. It's nice. I know a lot of people kind of take rate this and take that like ratings and stuff very particular and scientific. Like they rate it by smell, by color, by density, by all that jazz, like all that stuff. I never done that, but I think I might start because this one's cool. This is a darker green hue with some purple, and it just smells great. It smells great. And that's what was always interesting to me is like the differences, like all the different strains out there.
Hmm.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Oh
And then
yeah, dude.
then however you name them, like there's like who comes up with all these wacky names? Some are
Like
wacky,
what?
are cool, but like
Uh-huh.
it's like okay, well, the fuck, it's a random name.
Like why name it, right?
Yeah,
It'd be surprising, you know, just it could be like anything, man, and then you'd be like, why, you know? But then if you kind of like they explain to you why, like why they call it like that, what strains got crossed, you know, like how you were saying, you know, go get into that scientific of like the cannabinoids and stuff like that, like the terps, the taste.
yes,
So that's just the beauty of it, and that's just one thing, because like this plant does so many things, and I feel like we're holding it back from its fully potential of what it can do for a lot of us.
very true. I think one turning point for me was when I saw like the YouTube video of a child who had epilepsy, was having an epileptic seizure,
Hmm.
and the mom gave him some drops. I think it was like a THC drop, or maybe it was CBD type of drops, but within a matter of seconds, like their body was just like they were shriveled up or something, in the middle of their seizure. And in a matter of a few seconds, the seizure stopped and the body just kind of was at ease. And so just to see that in real time, it's like, yeah, there's definitely some power to this plant, most definitely, especially like in the medical context and for all of those uses.
Are you a medical patient yourself?
I am not, but I'm a
Okay,
huge proponent for them.
gotcha. Most definitely, man. Myself, I'm not a medical patient myself. But like, of course, supporting the medical patients, because like, of course, they're the ones who actually need it, you know, like for whatever medical benefit that they can use it by. But like, what tell us a little bit more of like, you know, your brand, you know, 420 Chicago presents, you know, tell us a little bit about that. Like, for how long has this been, you know, how long have you been active? Because I know I see you, man, you've been going everywhere, man, everywhere in the city of Chicago, man. So,
Yeah, no, that's a loaded question. So I started my company about a year ago or so, a little more than a year ago. And basically I'm just an event planner. I really like planning cool things, whether it's a concert or an immersive activation or immersive experience or a street festival or whatever it may be. I like planning the ideas, the activities, managing the logistics, handling the bookings, handling the artist relations and the venue. And so most of my professional career was working as an event coordinator for other marketing agencies or event production companies. I was doing that for a solid 5, 6 years. And so really just kind of wanted to do my own thing, start like focusing on my own thing. Um, yeah, yeah. And I guess just to kind of a little preface, just to back up, like I'm actually my parents met here in the south side of Chicago. And but however, I was born in San Antonio, Texas. And so I kind of grew up in both areas in Chicago and San Antonio throughout my life.
Mm,
I made the big move, the permanent move to Chicago after high school. One day, I was just getting tired of giving out my personal email everywhere for like coupons or discounts or whatever. So one day I was just like, yeah, I really need a throwaway email, just a second backup, whatever email. And one day I was just blazing at home, smoking,
mm,
listening to music, jamming out, and I was like, all right, I got to make this throwaway email just to have a whatever bullshit email. And lo and behold, 420chicago at gmail.com was available. So I ended up kind of scooping that one up. This was about like what, 13 years ago, before like all weed was legal and all that stuff. So always had that email in my pocket just for like a whatever. And so with the energy of that email, that's kind of how I came up with the company name. And so, with my professional background of working concerts, pop-ups, experiences, and festivals, kind of wanted to create my own world of like a stoner nation, where it's like every event is going to be a 420 friendly event. Every event's going to be an experience where you can, a 420 friendly experience, whether it's a concert or whether it's like a discussion or whether it's just like, come hang out, let's play some puzzle games or something like that. It's always going to be like a 420 friendly activity or experience. Um, so yeah, I mean that's kind of how the name came out. That's how I kind of developed that name. And then what I'm trying to transform it to be is everything and more. I
mm.
mean, the catchy name. So I mean, I can do it's whatever I make of it. And right now, I want to focus on live events, immersive experiences, and experiential activations. Those are my three things. I want to plan cool activities. I want to handle everything A to Z. I'm a master planner, so to speak. The ultimate influencer. And yeah, no, little by little, I'm just getting things all together. I'm getting the right people in my corner and finding everyone who's willing to step up and help out.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, it's
So,
it's 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 so far I've been doing everything myself, but little by
mm,
little, I'm just trying to find the people I trust to delegate responsibility to. It's not easy because especially with like my me growing up, I never really had a proper education. I never, so to speak, in my at least with like my childhood or growing up, I never really kind of had an opportunity to work had an opportunity to like work business operations or work on like the executive management side, if that makes sense. Like I never had the luxury to think about doing stuff like this. I was always worried about um how do I say this? I was always worried about like not getting in trouble because dumb shit, just dumb shit. I don't know, I'm a stoner. I'm a stoner and I was chasing girls all over the city. So, but
pretty much like so pretty much everything that you're like promoting and stuff, like you always end up at those events.
yeah,
So then, like I guess like everywhere you go, then like is it then like 420 friendly then?
that I yes, for the most part, yeah, yeah. Everything that I've been to, I mean, here's the question. Sometimes they're like the venue is cool because it's just me, but like if I were to host an event there, that would be a different situation. Like they might not allow 50 people, let alone a couple hundred people to openly smoke. But like
Mhm.
maybe one or two, that's a different story, right? That this is a larger volume of people when I'm hosting a certified 420 Chicago event. That just changes the dynamic a bit. Um, but I would say 90% of the places that I promote are flower friendly, 420 friendly. But there are some of the other venues or parties that I promote that are a little questionable. Yeah, you can probably vape but not
Hmm.
like smoked flower. And so when I plan an event, I focus on the flower aspect. Everywhere else you could drink your tincture, you can have your vape, but you can't really like smoke a blunt or a joint or flower. So that's kind of where my little niche is at. Um, yeah, yeah. So I think right now my ultimate, so what I really want for 20 Chicago to be is like, oh man, like an amalgamation. I can never pronounce the word right. An ama amalgamation is just like a complete collection, the centerpiece, the nexus of everything cannabis in Chicago. Yeah, like everything that's anything. Are you familiar with well, here's the funny part. So I just started 420 Chicago about maybe a year ago, right? But
Hmm.
I'm way late in the game. There's other people that's been doing this for a decade and they're celebrating their 10-year anniversaries and this and that, which is fantastic and it's amazing. Like that's 420 Chicago before 420 Chicago was even an idea, right? Like
Hmm.
there's so many people doing like the coolest thing that's definitely 420 Chicago.
So
That
like for example, I don't know, like
like Nikan, like the Nikan, there's it's a big expo, it's a big trade show.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
There's Champs trade show, like literally it's the coolest trade show I've ever been to. The Champs trade show, it's like once a year in Chicago and it travels all over the city and it's basically where every head shop goes to purchase inventory for their store. So
Gotcha.
everyone who's anyone is there, but you have to work in the industry. You have to like have a retailer's license. You have to be certified and vetted and all that stuff to be entered, to be allowed to enter. What else is there? The Champs Trade Show. There's some stuff that was just recent. There was a lot of more stuff going on, but like that's just Chicago. Let's go to Michigan. Michigan has some other stuff like the Canna Fest, I think it was. That was
Hmm.
amazing. I just saw some videos, and that's just like the first thing off the top of my head. I think there's a
The
couple.
cannabis too.
Yeah, all that jazz. I was like, dude, like that's
Hmm.
been going on for years and years. And I'm just now learning about it because, by the graces of God, like I was, kind of trying to find something, right? That's
Quick,
for
quick.
like that's 100% 420 Chicago. If I had the money, I would try to sponsor that shit.
I have a question. This is like really off topic, but this was kind of just in my mind since so we popped up. Um, really off topic, but did you ever went to a smoke responsibility social event?
I have. Yeah, I've been to one or two of those with Blake.
Yes. Did you go to the one in Ascend? The one in downtown? The one
Yeah,
where Jason, I think Jason Ortiz was there with us
I think
through
that's where I
there's
met you. I think that's where I first
yeah.
met you.
I think so. Yeah, yeah. It's because
Yeah,
you
they have
kind of look familiar. That's why I was like, wait, I feel like I know this guy.
that was at the last Prisoner Project. I think.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
yeah. No, I remember that spot.
Uh,
Yeah, it was
okay. Okay, yeah.
Dizzy, the last Prisoner Project, 1906, and then yeah, and Ascend owns that whole building.
Yes, yes, yes. There you go. My bad. My high ass. I was just like, where the fuck do I know
Nice.
Buddy from?
Hell yeah, hell yeah. So
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
my first year, and I did a few events, yeah, but I was really just trying to get out there more. Like I'm like a complete hermit crab, like straight up. I'm an introverted hermit crab. I'd rather just stay home and just do nothing.
You're just a homebody then.
Yeah, do nothing. I watch a good movie. I would say I would
You
watch a.
really? I feel like you all over the place, man. I feel like every single time I see something on your stories, like you at an event or you're of course
Yeah.
promoting, but it kind of it makes sense. You're a promoter, but like,
Well, it's funny because I don't want to be a promoter. Like I don't want to be a promoter, but I guess I kind of just fell into that lane because of just what I'm working on and what I'm doing.
mhm.
But and then that kind of comes with like expanding my team if people are or finding that part of finding that other me right? Someone that's like all about promo and all about mixed media and all about marketing and all about event marketing and advertising and promo. Like, yeah, I think I just that's a yeah, I that's a lot. That's a whole thing, and I just as cool as it is, like I don't want to do that. I want to focus on a couple other things. I
I
just came
got
to the realization, but like
you.
this is the process that I'm going through. Like I keep telling myself, trust the process, it'll get better, trust the process. But like I just have to go through certain things so that way I can better kind of communicate and explain once I'm in a position to be delegating to people I trust. Like for example, I kind of I had a graphic designer who was working with me on like my tablecloth and my backdrop and my step and repeat, all that jazz.
Hmm.
But because my communication wasn't like the strongest, we weren't he the images he was developing, like it just wasn't what I wanted. We came up with something decent. I slept on it for a day or two, and then I just decided like, no, I don't like it because I'm not going to send this to the printer. Like, I'm not trying to drop all that money to like print something to use at an event or a trade show where like I don't even like the graphic or I don't like the image. And he kind of got mad, and he got mad at me for not liking it. And it's like, well, what? Like, I can change my mind. Like, I'm okay. I people can change their mind if they don't like something. That's just kind of the refinement process, right? We're trying to, yeah, yeah. So I still, I don't got it, yo. I don't have a tablecloth. I don't have a backdrop. I have, yeah, yeah,
No, you good, man. Hey, man, everyone is at their own spot, at their own pace.
at their own pace.
I feel you. I think I feel you on that, where you feel like you wish you had X, Y, and Z, or you're already at a certain spot where you want to be at. But like,
That's, and then there's on the flip side,
mhm,
there's this situation where like a lot of people assume I'm at a certain level in life, and I'm not. I'm kind of like scraping to get by, and people are like, "Oh, he's already got everything and more," and it's like, "Well, hold up, no, no, I don't." No, I don't. I work very, very, very hard for anything I got, and so yeah. It's that, and then people are charging me an arm and a leg, and it's like, well, I have to explain it to them very nicely that I'm scraping by and I don't got it like that, and then it's like that conversation. Oh well, okay, I'm sorry. Well then, no, I can't help you. Or this one chick, I remember. Oh my God, it was so funny. So I needed like some help, like an engineer to a sound engineer. And
mhm.
I told her, hey, I can offer you a couple $100, whatever that number was. And they're like, okay, yeah, cool, cool. But then they started asking questions more and more. And then like 20, 30 minutes into the conversation, they're like, okay, well, how about this? I'll take that. Plus I want like they said that plus they wanted 5% of all the ticket sales. And it's like, whoa, that's like an insane amount. That first of all, I don't even know what my show is gonna sell out. Like I don't know what it's gonna sell like. Like I'm
Mm.
hoping my break even right now is about like 325 tickets. So let's see how that goes. And then that's just like the break even, right? Like I would do a little bit better than break even with that money or with that number. Like the money won't be, it'll be all right. The money will be all right. I don't know if it'll be that much, but to get 5% of whatever I like the ticket sales, it's like, yeah, that adds up and it's a big chunk. And it's like, yeah, it's trying to get like, whatever that number would have been. It was just like, yeah, no, that's kind of a bit, but I get it. That's just like, yeah, some engineers definitely get that, that, that pay rate, but I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. So for people to think that I'm already at some level that I can afford to do that, it's a blessing and a curse. And it's just, yeah, it's a blessing and a curse because it's showing me that one day I'm gonna get to that level, or like one day I'm gonna have my own Lollapalooza. But it's also showing me that people kind of already think I'm there. Like, oh, you have a catchy name, you must already be there. And it's like, oh well, no, I'm not. But I'm gonna make my way there, I hope. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure, man. I think one step at a time. And one show at a time, dude. You gotta see the numbers. So you guys, and I'm sure you look at them, and I'm sure you kind of like absorb and you kind of just like I don't know, like we're kind of just see how it went for you. But
Yeah,
that kind of starts leading me to a question. Like you kind of just recently did a event with the 1937 group, and also like how was that? You know,
that was
like
awesome. That was a great accomplishment of my career, booking Loonies in Crucial Conflict and a couple other openers. And yeah, it was a great day, and it was learned a lot from that day. Um, man, it rained on us too. I was like, what? It rained for like a solid hour, which
hmm
was yeah, it's you could do so much to plan a day out, right? And then it's just like, oh well, the rain comes and just
yeah,
kind of
you just gotta see
re
how it goes on the day of.
yeah, because it rearranged everything. I had to scratch a whole bunch of activities, kind of move things around, cancel a bunch of stuff, and you roll with the punches. Kind of basically, you just kind of got to roll with it and just always be cool. And the
So
shit stuff
how
happened.
how did you get the how did you get Looney's to pop out?
So I just was unlucky enough to know someone who knows someone that was able to book them.
Gotcha.
And that's kind of where that happens. Yeah, that's kind of
So
how it with every kind of booking. It's just knowing the right people, either knowing the people directly
mhm.
or someone who can introduce you to the right people.
So so was it hard for you though? Or like for them to say yes to come and perform or
No, I think that no,
okay.
yeah, the person I know, not 100% sure, but either it's like their manager or it's like someone who's really, really close with them.
hmm
So yeah, no,
Gotcha.
yeah. And so yeah, I think when I do more shows, I really want to try to focus on artists and talent who are somewhat established or kind of reclaiming that fame they have, if that makes sense, right? Like, yeah, I want to provide that platform for emerging up and coming artists or artists who are already kind of legends in their own way and giving them that platform to continue their legacy.
Gotcha. So like what I don't know. So did you get to vibe with them though or like
For a minute, yeah, but I was kind of DJing most of the show, so I kind of was hanging on stage, and then afterward, yeah, it was cool. They kind of had some food kicked back, and we like blazed in the what was it, the lounge, the smokers lounge.
hmm
I'm not um I'm not big on like photos for whatever reason. I don't like taking photos of myself or like being in photos. I'm trying to change that, but in hindsight, I wish I did jump in a few photos.
Gotcha, man. You should have,
Next
man. You got some memories right there.
next time though. No, for real.
Uh
But yeah, no, there's always a next time, right?
yeah, for sure, man. Do you guys have anything planned in the works or something like that between you guys for another event or
Not at the moment.
at the
No.
moment? Okay,
Yeah, not
gotcha.
at the moment. So
Cause
right now
what's
I have the Halloween show, which is more like electronic ambient techno. I'm possibly gonna try to do a Thanksgiving thing, which would probably just be regular house music. So yeah, I'm not really sure when I'll do like another rap show.
is that like mostly your thing? Like EDM and then like just like dance music type stuff?
Now that's a great question. Now that's the real question. So no, I wanna I love all music. I love all music. I grew up with like System of a Down, Slipknot, Tool, music like that rock and roll, heavy metal, death
Mm-hmm.
metal, my favorite music. Um, with that, it kind of shifted and progressed. So I'm very alternative. I would say I'm a very alternative kind of goth boy, but that's just my sound. However, I like all music. Like I could definitely oop, I dropped something, sorry. I could definitely boogie down to some house music or techno music or trance or tech house. Yeah, so it's really difficult to say what kind of music is my favorite. Um, Plus I'm also teaching myself to DJ. So little by little I got to get my things together and yeah, I kind of might be ready for a set or two eventually, or you're gonna start seeing Mr. Industrial E on the flyers circulating around.
Gotcha.
That's gonna be my DJ name is Mr. Industrial E.
Your second
That,
IG account.
that's my IG, yeah.
Yeah. That's what's up, broski. You're doing your thing, man.
I've always
Um,
wanted to DJ, just because I mean that's something that would be fun. That's just something that'd be really, really, really fun because um it's just another avenue, right? There's so many, that's the thing about it. Like there's so many things I've been wanting to do. It's just like, yeah, finding the energy. And I really don't do cocaine. So
this motherfucker.
energy, right? Because there's just so many things going on and like the cool shit doesn't even start till midnight. And by then it's like I'm already
Ready for
tired.
them sheets, man.
I'm tired, man. It's like I'm ready to like, yeah.
So then,
There's
if
so
I
much,
have,
like the cool, yeah, like all the raves, all the real
uh,
parties, like all that shit doesn't start till midnight. And I'm nearly almost 40 right now. And so it's like I'm a few years away from 40. I already feel 40, but I'm tired, man. My fucking leg hurts. I got this busted up leg, and after 4 or 5 hours of walking,
hmm.
my foot hurts. Like it's like an actual issue. Like it's pretty bad. But
So would you like? You think you could like pull like event with like some Mexican mu music artists, and stuff like that?
fuck yeah, yeah, hell yeah, yeah. I've been thinking about doing like a Selena tribute because ¿por qué no? It's Selena. Hello. Um, yeah, but like cumbia or Tejano cumbia.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, I was thinking about something. I also wanted to do like a series. I don't want to speak too much of it because I'd rather like just show you a flyer. But
Hmm.
yeah, yeah. Someone does bingo, but I was thinking of doing the Mexican version. So
Oh.
yeah, I don't play bingo, but I'll play the loteria for sure.
Oh, hell yeah. Dude, that'd be fun as hell, actually, if you think
I
about
know,
it. That would be fucking dope.
I know.
Get all the fucking la raza, all the paisanada up in
I
that
know.
motherfucker. That'd be dope as hell.
Somewhere in Pilsen.
That'd be dope. So then like so besides I guess that my other question was like I guess like how well one is like what's your point of view in the industry here? And then
Um,
like yeah, let's go with that first.
yeah, no, yeah, that's a real tough question because there's a lot going on. Like, exactly, yeah, no, there's just a lot going on. This shit is thriving, I think. Um, yeah, yeah, and just in Chicago, right? So Chicago, that's the interesting part about it. Chicago is, oh, I can check something. I was just looking into it. Off the top of my head, Chicago's like on track to be the number one city for cannabis. Um, let me see. I just made
Really
a
for cannabis.
For real. Okay, here it is. I just made a post. So basically, I'm just gonna read word for word verbatim from this. It's one of my
Mhm.
posts. But like Chicago's cannabis industry offers a unique model for sustainable and equitable growth. Because Chicago serves as the major distribution and innovation hub. It has state-of-the-art cultivation centers and dispensaries. It's about to open up a massive research facility, the Discovery Institute for Cannabis. Plus, it's home to like seven major cannabis corporations. So that just kind of allows the economy to thrive. Um, there's a whole bunch of commitment to social equity programs and resources and opportunities for minority owned folks like myself or minority owned businesses. I definitely consider myself a minority just because of, well, I'm Mexican and the background and upbringing that I have kind of sets me apart from others. Most certainly, I would say that. Yeah, I live. I mean, aside from like the zip code I live in, I guess the zip code I live in is considered a neighborhood that's been at a disadvantage. But I would say, coming from a background with like hardly any parental support or parental guidance also put me at a major disadvantage in my life. So um, everything I taught myself, like I'm straight up self-made. So yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think cannabis, the cannabis in Chicago is there's a lot going on. It's gonna be crazy cool. It's gonna be crazy cool because for seven of the country's companies to be headquartered here in Chicago, that definitely says a lot, right?
Yeah.
And it's the Midwest. It kind of goes all over. Like the distribution and the reach goes both to East Coast, West Coast. So I really want 420 Chicago to like be an ultimate resource for people, like a hub of information, of reliable and trustworthy information. If people have questions or if people need suggestions, people want to know what to do, um, they can check out 420 Chicago. Oh, I'm taking a trip. Well, okay, well let me check out 420. Like, oh, I'm visiting from out of town for a while, or I'm coming in from an international visit for a couple of weeks. Oh, let me this or that, if that makes sense. Like they can check out my
No,
site
yeah. Hmm.
page to see what's going on, what's popping, what's happening,
Yeah, I feel you. Like regulations or anything like that,
or just
laws.
or promos, or like
Uh-huh.
these stores are having sales in the city, these events are going on in the city. Like when I first started my account, I was doing good. I was posting all this shit and blah blah blah, and then I got tired of it. I just got so fucking. There was like so much other shit I needed to be doing, right?
Hmm.
Plus, it was like I didn't really like the post I was making. I was just like, whatever. So I saved the cool stuff that I liked, and then I deleted everything. I cleaned that shit, and then now I have what I have now. And then I'm gonna slowly kind of do like a way back Wednesday. Check out last year. Look at what we happened last year, or what we had last year.
Hmm. Gotcha, man.
Something like that. Yeah.
So
Um.
like what overall, like I guess like with working with, people and in the advance with cannabis, like how's that been? Because I feel like it's a lot of ups and downs, when it comes to an event.
For real, it's been a journey for sure. It's been quite the journey, no doubt. That's for damn sure. Excuse my language. I know, right? Shouldn't be saying so many cuss words. But what's life without its up and downs? Ups and downs builds your character.
Hmm.
It builds wisdom. It builds experience. So I'm so grateful that everything fell through the way things fell through. I'm so grateful things developed and matured the way things developed and matured. So, I still had a good, solid handful of events under my belt and learned a lot. And so, just only gonna get better from here.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah. Just keep it going. Um,
Exactly, exactly. And that's really the secret to life is consistency. It's just like being consistent with what you're doing and being consistent with the delivery.
hmm
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and that's one thing I need to start doing is like just re-strategizing my approach. Am I going to have events every week, or am I going to do like once or twice a month, or like what's my strategy? What's my approach? Because there's so much stuff I want to do. Like this whole like if I start my newsletter, like that's a whole thing on its own. It takes a lot, but it's something I do want to do. But also I need to start focusing on events. Like that's a whole other operation, right? Those are two different things. Also, I want to do some like filming. Like I want to need to get a little crew, film me hanging out. Let's go tour this dispensary. I got some invitations to get some behind the scene footage. It's just getting the right people in place that can make an actual film and like a recap or stuff like that. It's a film type of thing. And so scheduling that, kind of coordinating that, that's a whole thing. In addition to on top of planning planning the concert and on top of, planning the newsletter, on top of planning all the promotional requirements and marketing materials. The whole marketing thing is another beast. Like there's photo shoots, there's graphic designs, there's yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's a shit ton of work too for just one thing of
One
what you're talking about, cause
and yeah, for what I'm trying to start, yeah,
and it's a lot, cause and it's a lot for one person, man.
I know.
Yeah.
I know I'm stressed as fuck, but it's cool. It's a matter of like dealing with it properly and being smooth. I just got to be smoother in with things, with business and whatever and whatnot. And I'm just starting up. So that's why I was like, yeah, I keep asking for, healthy energy, you healthy
The-
energy. For example, I wake up a typical, what, a typical Thursday, or maybe
mhm.
a Wednesday, a typical Wednesday, a Thursday. I wake up, late, like 9:30, 10, which is kind of late. Bam, already behind because of my emails. There's a couple emails I need to respond to, or a couple emails that I just need to respond to emails I haven't gotten to, right? Boom, that hit with that. And then I check the Instagram, try to figure out what's all going on, what's popping off. And then, by that time, there's like some other stuff that I got to kind of finish or tasks that need to be completed from the next day. And then it's just like everything piles up. And then and then I have to like, oh shit, okay, it's already 3 o'clock. Maybe I should eat breakfast. Um,
He
and
said
then,
3 o'clock I should eat breakfast.
yeah. And then damn, it's already three. Okay. And then,
Mhm,
stuff, more emails or phone calls or just communications and just correspondence and planning activities and all that stuff. And then by the time you know it, like, oh shit, it's already 7:30 or 8. There's something we need to go out. Like there's an event going on, whether it's like one of Eric's parties or maybe one of Bobby's things, or maybe just like something going on. You gotta go. Start time is, sometime it starts, right? Like, um, that's just on a Thursday, and then oh bam, there's a Friday, right? And
mhm.
it's all over again Friday. But then Friday, there's like four things going on in the city, and it's like, oh shit, now I really have to pick and choose because I'm not trying to bounce around. Like I have been going to three or four things sometimes, just to get out there more.
Mhm.
I'm trying to always do that. I am not trying to always do that. Like that,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a pain sometimes because you got
maybe two,
gas and then
yeah,
you
yeah,
feel like tired.
maybe two places, but like,
Uh,
yeah, that has to be a well planned night. If you're going to three or more, it has to be a well planned night. It has to be all in sync, and yeah, but yeah, you never know, right? Because the real networking kind of happens at the afters, or the afters.
yeah, kind of like after the event.
Like, why? It just, I don't know why it works that way, but it does. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, I guess because everyone wants to just have fun, and smoke a J or something.
And I've met some really interesting people at like some parties. Like, so I'm really hoping like other venue owners, other event producers, some DJs. So yeah, yeah. Hopefully, I just gotta strategize more, be strategic with who I'm trying to meet because I'm an old school person. Like if I'm trying to start a business old school way, so to speak, because that's just more authentic. So when I'm trying to focus on booking my talent and booking my artists, I'm trying to find folks who are kind of on the up and up, right? Like they're somewhere in their career where they're well established or, borderline, you know, very up and up. Um, so I'd rather just meet them in person, kind of hang out with them, see if I could offer them a drink, and then kind of take it from there, introduce myself and see if I can let them know what I'm trying to work on and be like, hey, well, if I have some days in mind or, some days in the future, can I reach out kind of type of conversation instead of just like a blind code email, hey, booking request. Because it's just like relationship, right? This world is about relationships. And so if I'm trying to work with some folks and not get charged an arm and a leg and all that other stuff. I really want to build that positive kind of relationship where I get a friendlier kind of price. So that's one strategy to try to get a preferred pricing is to actually meet the people in person. Like I think the most famous person I met right now is Hyperactive, or wait, yeah, well that's his stage name is this DJ Hyperactive, who's really close with Hiroku Yamamura, and I really want to book Hiroku Yamamura. But
Is like a
different,
EDM guy, like a
yeah,
DJ guy?
techno house, yeah, it's techno house. So very EDM, very EDM.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I don't want to like stick to that genre either. I would say, I mean, it's a little grim, but my favorite artist right now, or one of, I would say top five, right? Top five favorite artists would be MC Holocaust. That's a dope name. It's powerful, and it's very powerful name, and he's a great artist. Yeah,
You said his name was MC Holocaust?
correct.
Oh shit.
Yeah. He has a few albums out, and I really want to book him for a show. So we'll see soon. Little by little.
Gotcha, man. So like
He likes to call his music funk. P H,
funk,
yeah, PHONK. Very very sad boy-ish, very suicide voice, very Freddie Dread, very it's hip hop, but it's like a different type of hip hop. It's more like the goth boy hip hop.
like little Tracy, little Peeps type stuff.
Yeah, but that's like, isn't that like mumble rap or something? Or like
I
I heard a little peep, but ish, very like young lean type of stuff. Freddie Dread's number one. I think there's this other artist I can't really come to mind.
like how about like fuck.
Let me check my YouTube, of course.
Like like Bones or like how you said Suicide Boys, like
Uh,
Black Smurf, like that, like
Sure, I never really heard of Black Smurf, but yeah.
oh, okay. How about Ramirez? Is that his name? Ramirez? He's like part of like the Suicide record label. Um,
And there's also
trying to
not
think
many
of
people. I think DJ Azuka, Young Demise, and the record label is Doom Shop.
Doing Shop.
Doom Shop. Yeah, so I think that's the one record label that kind of caught my eye. It's a very niche sound, I gotta say. Not everyone likes it. I mean, it's very off-putting. The name alone is pretty off-putting. I think he got kicked off of Spotify a couple of times just because of the name. You know,
Yeah.
and it's a very political hot. It's a very hot. It's politically hot climate right now. It's like some shit's going on. We're living in a post-apocalyptic times, honestly.
Why you say that?
All the slaughter and bloodshed that's being funded
Like oh, because of like the war that's going on, like in
that never
like
ended. The war has been going on since
in
16,
last since
1600.
well, oh, I thought you meant like the current
Wait,
war.
I mean, it depends on who you talk to. Like, wars never stopped. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you in a way, because like
Yeah,
yeah,
like,
one stops, but then another one starts.
well,
I get you.
well, okay. So I see myself. I was raised as Mexican, and my mom has told me that there's some German in me, and there's some Cherokee Indian in me.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel kind of I'm part native as well. And so when I started learning about the history of like the Native American annihilation, where they were just massacred, right? Like, boom, that in and of itself, like, there are some people who do faithfully believe that we are living in a modern day post-apocalyptic times, like because of what has been occurring, what is going on by the hand of the government. There's no refuting that. There's no denying that government's been doing some crazy things, human experiments and other type of experiments. Like there's no denying that. But yeah, so it really just depends on who you talk to about things. You know what I mean? But yeah, some people really do believe that we live in post-apocalyptic times because of like, look at what's going on. There's like all these people are being murdered and massacred in the name of whatever the conversation is, but it's just not right. It's just not right. Like, I'm a humanitarian, and just to kill a bunch of innocent people for absolutely nothing is just not right. And so, tough conversation. A lot of people don't want to, a lot of people prefer the comfortability of avoiding the conversation. They just rather be comfortable and avoid the conversation. And it's just
What,
like,
but like, what conversation though? Like,
of
what?
like, of the, of the bloodshed and war and Israel versus the world and how America's funding them. So like, yeah, that conversation. That's a strong conversation, and it's always kind of like any no matter what you say, you're always going to be labeled as an anti-Semite if you kind of like speak against Israel for the massacre and the bloodshed occurring. Or there's always going to be like, oh well, the Saudi Arabians are doing the same thing or something like that, which is not to kind of minimize or distract from what's going on because that's like equally bad.
Hmm.
But it's always just like deflecting, ignoring and deflecting. Oh well, what can we do? What are we gonna do about it? What are we gonna do about it? Like the fuck.
But the thing is, like, you don't think it's more like just a geographic war just because of where it's at, you know?
It is a territorial war for sure. Yeah, it is geographic, but the part about it is like us American taxpayers, we are funding that. We are giving everyone the money for that.
What then again, but I feel like it's more like who is giving it to them though, you know? Like it's more like it's not I guess it's yeah, you're kind of right. Like it's us because we're paying the taxes and that money is giving that
And
to
the
the government and the government is giving it to them, which
exactly, and so it's kind of that's the scheme of it all because that's really what it is. Like I think Obama signed a law or signed it into law that we give $10 million a month to Israel, or yeah, 10 billion or 10 million, 10 million a month to Israel for whatever. And this was way back when. Um, I forgot what the entire number was, but it was crazy. And now that even this year, it's just constantly giving them more and more and more and more. And then this world is just a mess. Yeah, I hope that something happens and it gets fixed, whatever that is.
like in what way though? Like in what way?
Well,
It's
nothing immediately.
one is like it's funny because of around the time that we're in right now, and it's like you think this election could help fix this, whatever you're saying, like it's just a point of view. I'm not like here's one thing before we even get deep into this right now, and it's like I don't take politics serious. I just like to hear everybody's point of view. So it's like I'm not those persons that is gonna be like hating on your ass after whatever you say right now. It's just like I just want to just hear your thoughts, my guy.
Forget what I was gonna say. Well, yeah, no, I have to be careful about my thoughts because everything I say is gonna be shared with hundreds of people, Like,
Hmm.
yeah. Well, I don't even know what my thoughts are because my thoughts are all over the place. I mean, I don't want to be extreme, but like extreme things have already happened, and it's like you gotta
Yeah, our ex-president got was almost about to get assassinated
twice or some shit.
twice. Yes, and
I was like, wait, what?
twice.
Once? When was the second? Like,
The second one was when he was in Florida golfing, and a dude was like outside the
so
the
here's my
golf
question:
club.
City
Uh-huh.
things win.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I feel like right as of right now, like if I'm looking at it right now, just because of based on everything that I hear and like what I've read so far, I feel like it's gonna be Harris winning. Um, but I don't know, man. I don't. They're I'm telling everybody like I think they're training her right. Somebody is giving her the the right ideas and the right thing to say.
Well, of course, it takes a team, right? Like,
Yeah.
period. It takes a team, and she has everyone on her corner. Everyone's on her corner. So,
because they don't want this guy back, man. But then again, like, what's your point of view on him?
oh no, no, he's terrible. He's terrible.
Hmm.
He's no. I mean, everything he's done always ran into the ground. I guess like he's had X amount of businesses, but they've all bankrupt and failed. I guess. Um.
Hmm.
Yeah. No.
It
I'm still
it's kind
confused.
of
I'm still confused as to how he makes money, if
it's kind
any.
of funny. It's kind of funny. I was actually talking about this exactly what you were just talking about. All his businesses got bankrupt and like how he's still a billionaire. I was talking to somebody about this earlier today, and funny thing is I didn't know one he had a casino in Las Vegas that that went bankrupt, and then he had a I think he came out with a board game and that also went bad. I know his school, he made a school or whatever, and that I think also went bad.
A what? A school?
A school like a university, like
Yeah.
a Trump university or whatever.
Yeah.
He
I
had
heard
that.
of Trump University. Oh my God.
So it's like, but yeah, you're right. Like, how does he still have so much money? You know, like
Yeah, yeah. I mean, his parents. You look at what his parents. I forgot what his parents did, but he inherited all that shit, right?
I guess yeah, but like it's little fishy to get to overcome everything, man. I mean, they've been trying to get his ass behind bars, but they just can't.
He
This
must
man just can't get behind bars.
know somebody or something. Or I don't know because that's like
They're eating the dogs, man. They're eating the dogs, the cats and dogs, man. Oh my God, I remember that debate, man. I'm not sure if you saw it, but
what's
the debate, like the full debate, man. Like
no. I didn't
no,
watch it.
oh my God, it was something. I saw like half of it, man, but like it was funny, man. It was just like
I just couldn't tolerate it. I'm just like I'm tired of circuses.
it's on my great, man. Like it's these two now, you know? That because I feel like there's no third party, right?
Which there is. That was just about to say. So I yeah, that's where the fun conversation starts. The Green Party.
So,
Never
but
the
who
Jill,
is?
Jill Stein, Dr. Jill Stein.
And here's
You,
a funny thing. I haven't heard of him, so like I don't
her.
know. Oh, her. Sorry.
No, it's all good. So,
Uh,
yeah, no, Dr. Jill, she, no, she's on the ticket. They just kind of, have way more money to kind of push her off the ticket. That's kind of where it's at. Just the same thing like Bernie Sanders. Like, do you think Bernie should have won? Because, like, look at his turnout. He had like the highest turnout, and for some miraculous reason, Bernie still did not win.
are you
And
talking about the which one? The one where he was supposed to where
yeah,
Mr. Trump won that election? No, or when Obama? No, was it with Obama?
shit, I
No,
forgot.
no, wait, no.
He was
I'm
running.
going too far.
It was a primary. I think it was for or the primary. It was him or Hillary or some shit.
Yeah, it was up there around those two.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
Hillary, and then it was Hillary or Trump, and then it was Trump.
okay. There you go. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I think
Hey,
it was
I
Bernie, Hillary, and
and
so
then
it was Hillary or Trump, and then Trump won.
yes, that makes more sense actually.
I think I think I'm not 100% sure.
I think so. I think that makes more sense though. Because it's been recent. It's recent. It's not too long ago.
Well,
So
like
it's like
7, 10. I don't know how long ago. I lose track of time. I
it's
kind
funny how time flies, right?
of time is social construct. It really just like, yeah. I remember one phrase: "Time flies when you're having fun." And yeah, like seriously, it's just kind of like that. It just kind of goes. It
I
does. Damn, I blink my eyes. The day's already over. I just started my emails. Shit.
but yeah, man. So I don't know, man. I don't know how this election is gonna turn out. We just gotta wait to see.
Well, so
I
you never
know.
heard of Stein, right? So
No, and I never did. That's why I'm just like,
yeah,
who's the third party?
yeah, Jill Stein. It's always
But
it's
then again, it's like
the party. There's the Republic Party, And so no, she's pretty cool. She's pretty good. She's very somewhat liberal, but conservatively liberal. If I think I'm not 100% sure. I just yeah, I think she's been
Yeah,
doing some cool stuff. So,
but you don't
but
even hear from her though. You don't hear anything from her until like you actually told me like it's a specific person, you know, like
exactly, yeah, no, there's so much more money behind the Democrats because she's running sort of independently.
hmm
So, yeah, they're not even off trying to offer her a platform. That's how crazy it is. But
they're really just focusing on these two, and it's like okay.
yeah, so I'm not 100% sure who I'm going to vote for, but chances are, you know, the throwaway vote is really what they'd like to call it because I'm voting for someone who's definitely not going to win, right? Like,
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, it's
but
Cook County takes over whoever, you know, like so it's
that's why I don't that's why it's like sometimes I think like I don't even want to vote. Like what's the point of voting if we're like everyone's forced to vote, but then like, oh well, we don't like the results of the turnout of the voting, so we're just gonna change we're gonna make the decision for everyone. We're gonna change the turnout. Like, you know what I mean? I think that like the electoral college is the one that makes the final determination on the turnout or something like that.
well, that kind of is like not fair, and I feel like that's like kind of like not being like I think yeah, it's not fair because at the end of the day, it's like your votes didn't matter. Like how you said, they just didn't like the outcome. Then they're like, it's okay. Then we're just gonna say this person won, and it's like no manches. Like what the
Mhm.
fuck? Like
And that's what happened with Bernie Sanders. Like I
well,
was
do you
that
think you think that that also shows of how what happened
I
last?
well what happened from what I understand, sorry to interrupt, but
No,
what
you
happened
good, you good.
is like Bernie was did not want to continue funding Israel. He wanted to stop the funds going to Israel. And that's why he didn't win. Because from what I understand, Bernie is a Jewish man. And
hmm
yeah, that's really
Yeah, yeah, he was. He was gonna be like the first Jewish president. Which would have been cool. But what I was gonna tell ask you is like you don't think
but
we were just
they didn't want him to stop the money to keep going to Israel, right? Like they didn't want him
I guess they didn't want the genocide to stop, you feel me?
basically because all we're gonna get right now is someone who's just gonna keep adding fuel to the fire. So Kamala's gonna get elected. I already know it. I caught that shit as soon as that shit was long ago. Like that's really what it's gonna boil. Like that's what's gonna happen.
So
She's gonna win,
uh-huh.
and we're just gonna turn into a militarized country. Like,
You think we're all gonna get drafted then?
well, this migrant situation is really interesting because
It really is, but then before we get deep into that,
they might be the ones that has to be going into the draft.
maybe I mean finally make them do something, right? I mean besides
That's the only reason why I bring it up because I heard somewhere from somewhere like, yeah, that could be what can. I mean, who knows what's gonna happen, right? Like, I'm not privy to that
hmm
confidential. And but yeah, someone mentioned that, like, yeah, they're letting all these migrants in, which they are, because eventually they're gonna turn them around and put them into their armed forces.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know.
It's this migration you know situation is it really got out of control and it really made this country kind of look bad.
Well,
Uh
they sure clean up for special events. That's all I know. They they do. They spent like for the DNC, they spent so much fucking money. They're just like wasting money. It's crazy. It's really crazy how they're just fucking. I don't get it, man. How you're spending so much money on fucking nothing. Like they're just, if that makes sense, right? Like I don't know if it's true or not, but they're getting like $5,000 a month for food, which is
uh
not what regular people get. Or maybe it's not just food. Maybe it's like for shelter and food and
I
stuff, but
you,
like a
I
lot
think
more regular people that get those benefits get
no, yeah, most definitely, man.
5 times.
I think something is
And it shouldn't be like that. Like it
so,
really shouldn't.
I feel like there's a catch to why a lot of people came here and why the borders open up, just like how you said. Maybe it's not like they get, drafted or whatever, but or maybe it is. Maybe they do get drafted. That's why they get this
Yeah,
much amount of money and shit like that, like.
yeah, I don't know. I have no, that wouldn't be tied together. The benefits they receive right now would not be tied to like any kind of draft. I doubt that. I doubt that because that
I mean,
shit.
but then again, like they're coming from like a third world country, bro. Like, come on, like.
No, but like, why are they? I don't know. I can't. I'd love to confirm like what that number would be for their benefit amount that they receive, but like, it needs to be on par with what the average person gets. Like, it should not be triple. It should not be double. It should not be quadruple. It should not be. It should
Hmm.
not. It should not be 5 times more of what the average person would get, no matter what. Like, that's just well, yeah. Like, damn. Like. Yeah, yeah, fuck. That's crazy. That's crazy. Because how are you not helping people who are paying into the own tax system? Like these people are working people who are paying into it, supporting a whole bunch of other people who are just like not paying into it at all, who have never paid into it at all. Not that,
Right.
not to say that they haven't yet, but like, they haven't at all. So like, sure, they should receive something, but like to receive an extremely excessive over payment or over amount, like that's just incredibly questionable. Like, yo, there's our own community is struggling, our school systems down to shit, like the healthcare system.
Our food system is to shit.
That,
And
like, there's so many other like so many things going on. So like, there's yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a lot. So like,
it is, man. And
but to hear like that might be it. I don't know. I saw a photo of someone left her receipt, but like I don't know if that was like a fabricated photo or like photoshopped or whatever. But like, yeah, their balance was $5,000, and it's like, okay, well maybe I don't know what kind of benefit that they got or what they qualify or how many children they brought with them,
hmm.
but I forgot the entire situation. But it's all context. It's all case by case, and it's all like what the context of their situation is. So I don't really know what that was, but I think they said it was for like one or two people, but I'm not sure. But yeah, yeah, I don't know how much of an issue that is, but I know that there's a whole bunch of misspending in the city of Chicago. And that's what it boils down to, like no matter what. Because there is. And there's so many good people who want to help, but it's like this city's not even trying to help its own city. And it's like, geez, in terms of like in terms of social responsibility, in terms of like fixing up the community.
Hmm.
They're focused on other things. They're focused on other things. And I don't know what's going on with this mayor, Brandon Johnson, the current mayor right now.
He
He might not be in he might not have a job for long, is all I'm
feel like
saying.
he's quiet, or like I feel like he's just like kind of like just working
Does
behind the
it?
scenes or something, like like he's just.
I don't know, but like what was the most concerning thing is when basically I don't know what the hell happened, but his whole school, the entire school board, the entire Chicago school board resigned, like all on the same day. Oh, I don't know exactly what, but I just saw the headline and I was like, oh shit, I'm not even gonna dive into that article. But
What? For
the
real?
yeah, the entire school. I think I posted about it too, but just like a story or whatever, like just reshared it on my story or some shit. But oh, so Brandon, he wanted to something about a 700,000, I mean, I'm sorry, a 700 million dollar loan.
Hmm.
He wanted to take out a $700 million loan to fix all of to fix the problems of the Chicago school district. And the school board was like, no, this is not a good move. This is not a smart move. And so they resigned. Everybody resigned. I think every one of them resigned. So yeah, I saw that shit. I was like, well, what? What? that says a lot, right? That says volumes. Like he handpicked, he cherry picked who he wanted on that board, and
Damn.
like they all quit. I was like, okay, that
So
that's
then, so
education, right? Like education is kind of number one. What are the other community, the staples of the community? Your schools, your education. You have other institutions aside from education, like religious institutions. You have your social institutions, right?
mm, but then, so then I'm guessing what? So then, did they just go ahead and continue with that loan then, since
I have
everyone
no idea,
resigned, or what?
no clue what's going on. I have no clue.
But what the hell? What the hell are they gonna fix? Like physically the fucking school, or like
All
the
the
like the
things
bucks that kids are gonna
about it,
get, or
dude, man, pick a
I
fucking.
I love how they always say something, but it's always too broad. Like they can never get to the details of what exactly is gonna get fixed. Like it's like, well, come on, my guy.
Yeah, no, seriously, because yeah, no, that's interesting that you say that because so basically, I mean, for me, my off the top of my head, it's like, yo, the buses are probably a little busted, but got to make them work.
Mm,
Um, but like it's infrastructure. These schools are breaking down. Some of them don't even have air conditioners. There's supplies, there's teacher salary. There's teachers don't even make anything at all. That's kind of not, another sad topic, but like, um, all that shit adds up. You know what I mean? Like all that shit adds up. Salaries, infrastructure, supplies. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, but it's like another thing is like the growth. Gross is when people would like to overcharge just because to overcharge. It's like, for example, I saw an article a long, long time ago where someone was like, "Oh, we need to build a stairway. We need to build some stairs," and he asked the city to build some stairs, and the city quoted him like 13 or 40 thousands of dollars. And dude was like, "What? No way! I could fix this decently for like $500, $1,000 or whatever." And he
mm.
did. And the city instead fined it. They tore it down and fined him.
Why?
So, when you have a project like that, you have to get permits. Of course, you have to get approvals. And part of when you're dealing with cities, excuse me, when you're dealing with the city, there's a lot of favoritism involved. So, like, oh, well, we're only going to allow you this if you work with the people we tell you to work with, type shit. And so it's like, and these people, they're charging 5 times, 20 times more, but you have to work with them, and we're going to give you the money, but you have to work with only them, kind of, or something. Like, I don't know, but it's like politics. It's favoritism and it's politics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like these conversations. So I've always wanted to do, I think, a next program I'm doing, I just got to get my ducks in a row, get my things together, but I want to do like a conversational piece, like a straight up panel discussion, kind of like a expo style panel discussion type of thing.
Gotcha, my guy. No,
Yeah,
yeah, for sure.
of some cool topics, not just like music or conspiracy stuff, but like um actual conversations about the industry, the state of the industry, or what's going on, and kind of cool things. I got to figure that out.
There was actually one more topic before we wrap it up, man. Um and it's still under like the conversation that we on there with the state with the theory wise and stuff.
Oh man, we were
Uh
all over the place. I'm not a,
yeah.
I'm not. I don't know. I get nervous when I talk, I guess. So I was kind of like rambling, and I don't know.
Nah, you're good, man. You good, you good. It's just the weed. But I know I before it was like last month, and it was like around like 9/11, and we were just like I slid up on one of your stories because I forgot what you were talking about. But I remember like we just had to talk about this on the pod. So I mean, we're already here in the pod, man. So I mean, like, what do you think overall, man,
About what?
about what happened that day? And what happened prior to that day and like the few days after?
I don't know. I don't know. But the little I know is that the Pentagon lost a couple trillion dollars. They cannot account for. Not that they lost, but they cannot account for. They can't track
Yeah,
a couple.
they couldn't find this trillions.
Maybe it's just I don't know if that's just like whatever that means. So maybe yeah, whatever that means. Um, yeah, no, that's a slippery slope. That topic is a slippery slope. It was I think it was kind of well coordinated. Whatever, however, those there had been some coordination involved in that. Very well orchestrated for real.
I could imagine because like I remember like in textbooks and shit like that in school. They would have a picture of like Bush being in the school and you see like the security or whatever just leaning on his ear and that's the picture. And then all I could now that I imagine is like I can imagine when he tells him in his ears like it
um,
just went crazy and all I can think of him is just like what's that? Remember what's that movie? 28 Weeks Later, that song at the end, the dun, dun, you know what I'm talking about? That when like you can see like a little motion of a way of his face or zooming into his face, like oh it's going down right now.
for that, I
But
one photo I think of is the photo that they found of him. Someone painted it. They found this photo in Jeffrey Epstein's mansion, and it was him throwing a paper plane in front of a two towers, two Jenga towers.
mhm.
You know what you know what photo I'm talking about?
No, but that's interesting. So there's a painting of a like somebody throwing a
Of
paper of George Bush.
Throwing a paper plane, one of those paper planes. Okay, so
But that's him throwing the in the painting.
so it's supposed to have been a politically satire kind of person, artist. It's a political satire artist, and they did a painting. And I don't know the name of them, but the painting was of George Bush sitting down on the floor on the carpet, like in some bedroom. He's in some like little bedroom, sitting on the cross-legged on the floor, playing games. But like, there's two Jenga towers. One of them's already kind of fallen on the floor with the paper plane, and he's in the middle of like he has the paper plane and he's like about to toss it, and
Hmm.
the tower's kind of still erected and he's just like in the motion of about to throw the plane, and that's kind of that's the painting to kind of insinuate and symbolize that
Oh,
he was
snaps.
that threw the planes at the tower.
Let me see if I can Google it real quick.
Look at it's the I don't know what you call it, but look up yeah, George Bush painting Twin Tower paper plane.
Oh my God. All I'm getting is it's this one right here. Hold on. Let me share it with you real quick. Hold on.
Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah, no, exactly. George Bush painting Twin Tower paper plane. Yeah, you can't miss it.
This one right here. This one.
The one that's large, enlarge it. Here, click on it. Yeah, there you go. Yep. Well, basically, yeah,
Oh, this one right here.
yeah, that's the same one, basically. Yeah, but that's the. Yep, 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 yep.
The
Yes.
okay, I could kind of see it.
Oh, you can't. Okay, no, it's. Oh yeah, you can. Yeah, you see the little Jenga towers. I guess. Oh, that's right. War games. Yep.
Okay, yeah, I could see it. I low key, I would have thought like if like him kind of like standing on the street or something, and him just throwing it up in the air, and there's like the
I,
towers are just built like there is like big on him or something like that.
that comes to mind. I think War Games is also like the name of a movie.
Interesting. That's another interesting thing. Like, why would this man have it? Why would Jeffrey Epstein? What does he know now? You
Why,
know, like
why would he commission that?
right? Like
Or
I don't
maybe
know.
I don't know if it was commissioned or, but like I love political satire. That's another thing. But like, is it is there any truth to it, or is it just rubbish? Like, how much? That's really the question. Like that.
You think Jeffrey Epstein like knew something about 9/11 because of like how powerful and like the connections that this man had?
I don't know,
Like, do
but
you just wonder, like, just one, because then again, like going back to like the book, of like the names of everybody, like you
hmm.
don't think Bush is there? You don't think the Bushes are in that list?
Oh, there's so many lists.
That's the
Uh,
thing, but which one is real though? You don't know which one is real at that point, like that's crazy.
yeah, there's so many different lists.
Would would you go though? For these celebrities, like if you were like I guess like Tom Hanks or like like who else was on that list apparently? Like Chris Rock probably or like even like athletes.
Athletes, and it was
Yeah.
well, which list are you talking about? That's the question, dude.
But then
Like,
no, but I'm just saying like in general, like if you were like one of these people, like
if,
would you go to that island?
um, I guess I'm taking a long time to think about it, so I don't know. I guess I mean, I would like to take photos to like, ma- it, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yes, I would say yes, 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 because his
He
neighbor,
said yes, yes, yes.
I
He
would
said
visit his neighbor. His neighbor is one of my favorite authors ever on earth.
his neighbor
Yeah, his neighbor.
in
Which
that island or what?
yes, I don't know. Yeah, so one of my favorite authors, I grew up reading his books, is Dean Koontz. And from I could be wrong, maybe due to move, but I from the little I understood, because at some point I was like reading articles about this shit. I was like, oh, what the hell? But Dean Koontz owns the house that was next to his island. And Dean Koontz is just a very famous author up there. He's like Agatha Christie, like Stephen King.
Hmm.
He's up there. So, and he lives right there, and I definitely want to go interview Dean Koontz. So I guess, yeah, yeah. I was like, an island, dude. I've never been to an island. I hardly been outside of the sound of this city, right? Like, I need to travel more. I want to travel more. Would you go?
I, I
Would
don't
you?
know. I don't know. I just looked. Here's the thing though. Like, do you think they knew what was going down there? Like you think,
I
like you're just having a good time, sipping on some like, liquor and he's coming up to you. Next thing you know, you just see like little girl or something like that.
I would say yeah. I would say yeah. They'd have to.
It's
Yeah,
just, it's just a little weird, bro. I don't know.
I
I'll be a
say
little weird, like not freaked out, but just be like, what the fuck? Like,
they're saying something about like, but sometimes some of like the cruise ships stop there though, to like the Carnival cruise ships or whatever. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. Like yeah, all I know that shit is it's a whole other world. It's a whole other nightmare. It's a whole other world. It's not. It's pretty wrong. It's way wrong. And it's like my thing about it is like they're what's the word? They're extorting a lot of people, and that's how they keep people under control. So like you're talking about like oh celebrities, and you're talking about whoever the fuck like that's fucking petty shit.
like
It's
blackmailing them, like he's so.
the people that blackmailing are the politicians. That's where bankers or politicians or like other people like that. I think that's who they're blackmailing. I really do.
Yeah, but like I think as well, like you don't think on
So
that, like on like famous people too, like
that shit
not
doesn't
just
matter. That famous people, what the fuck, they don't do shit. That's pointless. It's the politicians, it's the policy makers, right? It's the law. Like that shit is where it's at.
so then
You
like why so then why include these other people then?
because they have so much influence. They have so there's just so much influence, and people, I guess, I don't know, they're just clueless or something. Like they need to be told, they just need to be told things by people they like. So I don't really know what the fuck. I have no clue. But it all boils down to power and control. And so if you're gonna want power and control over someone, you're gonna blackmail the shit out of them. That's all that it's about. And who has the most power and control? Think about it. Who? I mean, not celebrities. I mean, they have some influence, but that's really not. I mean, they have influence and a little power, but that's only goes so far. They're not writing the law. They're not
Hmm.
checks. They're not
No, at the end
changing the
of
banking system. They're not, doing shit with the healthcare system or infrastructure or whatever the hell. But like
like
that of situation. So, have you ever heard of the DC Madam? I think they killed her, but she was the pimp for all the politicians.
nah, I never heard of her. Well, like
Of course not. Of course,
elaborate on her.
I don't know much, but that's all you know. That's all.
Ah.
That's all. But
Uh,
they're spending trillions of dollars to keep shit quiet and keep people quiet and keep things confidential. Like straight up, like there's some fucked up shit going on, dude. Like if that's how you want to end it, like with this conversation, but not the best. We got to end this conversation on a lighter note, on a happier, healthy tone. Yeah,
I think we're leaving it as in a like a question for like a part two for people to be like, what the fuck did we just hear that we're so high? You feel me? Like, holy shit, you know? Um,
well, I mean, it really depends on who you talk to because like some people rather be blissfully ignorant and they just like, well, nothing's happening in my backyard, so I'm not gonna worry about it, I'm out of sight,
uh,
out of
uh-huh.
mind. There's still people like that. Like
Yeah,
there's
there is.
still a lot of people like, oh well, out of sight, out of mind. I'm only worried about this or that. I'm
Mhm.
only worried about my bills and my kids. I'm only worried about which is fair, which is fine. But like that's kind of where it's like, okay, well, yeah, no.
Nah, well, but this is happening though, if you're interested. But nah, man, you already know where you're at, bro. This is the Canna podcast, broski. So we talk about anything, and the conversation goes anywhere as you yourself just seen it in person. Um, and as well, if you ever, for everybody out there who has been hearing the pods, whatever you guys know, this is just how an episode goes. With topics, with off topics, man. We go back to the topics. It doesn't
When
matter.
Jins kind of got choked up, slips and mind farts. I don't know.
So yeah, this is a wrap, ladies and gents. This won't be the first time, and I mean, this won't be the last time you'll see 420 Chicago on Canna Vibe. We for sure gotta uh bring another part two. We left these peeps with a wondering conclusion. Um
Oh, you know what? I was just thinking, here's the last thing to say. So
uh
it's on November 16th, they're gonna have that Mario Kart event, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You hear about that one? Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm gonna try to pop out to that. That looks pretty cool.
oh yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Try to pop out. We already know we're gonna pop out for sure on that day. With the camera, we're gonna be vlogging, getting some content as always. So yeah, so pop out, man. It's pretty fun. Amazing people, amazing vendors, and it's just a hell of a vibe, man. No, for real.
No, that's
Uh,
cool. Yeah, that's a cool thing. So yeah, I'm gonna see. I'll probably go kind of make sure I go. Yeah, yeah, hell yeah. So if anyone's out there hears that, definitely look that up. I'll be posting that on the Instagram at some point.
all
Some
right.
yeah, yeah, right on.
All right, yeah, my guy. Well, there you go, ladies and gents. This was for sure your boy Chino and Eddie from 420 Chicago. I won't see you guys in the next pod or vlog. Take it easy, everybody out there. Be safe, stay high. We won't see you to the next one.